Hello and welcome to the Cozy Gaming News, where I keep you up to date on all things new and cozy on the Nintendo Switch each and every month. This is the start of a brand new series on this channel, and this week we have so much to talk about. We've got FaeFarm news, we've got a brand new Nintendo Switch, and I'm going to go through each and every cozy game releasing on the Nintendo Switch in April. But before we get into that, first let's talk about something that's most definitely cozy, and that's having a bath. Now, this isn't sponsored whatsoever. I just thought it was really cool. Lush have brought out a Mario collection. Look how big this bath bomb is. Now, according to the website, I think there's 6 different versions of this you can buy. I obviously haven't used this yet, so I have no idea what's inside, but I'll keep you in store. But basically, to celebrate the Mario movie, there's a whole bunch of items you can buy from Lush. I only got a few things because Lush is expensive, but I got the bath bomb because, I mean, you have to, right? I also picked up this Princess Peach shower jelly, which feels really weird, but I'm still really excited to try it out. And then I couldn't resist but to pick up this coin as well. And honestly, I had to include it, as what's cozier than buying stuff from Lush? First up in the cozy gaming news is covering everything new that we've learned about FaeFarm. Now, thanks to the developers being at PAX East and their Twitter account, we have learned some brand new information about the game that's got me even more excited. The only sad news is we still don't know when the game's coming out. We just know it's sometime late 2023. Now, can you believe we first heard about FaeFarm nearly 6 months ago? And since we saw the initial trailer, we hadn't really heard a whole lot about the game. That is, until now. As every single piece of information I learn about the game makes me more excited to play it. Now, from the trailer itself, we already knew that FaeFarm is a game where you play as a fairy in a gorgeous fairy village. And we learned that you could farm, decorate, fish, and explore the areas filled with fae magic. But now, thanks to Twitter, we've learned even more. We found out that you can also mine and have the ability to craft, as here you can see a furnace, a sawmill, and an anvil, meaning that it's ticking even more of the farming sim boxes. They've also shown that you can explore by swimming, which I absolutely love, as I feel like so many farming sims just kind of forget about the ocean and exploring that area. So that's got me very excited. They've also confirmed that you can romance and even go on dates with other NPCs. And although they haven't explicitly said it, this little snippet of the game shows what looks to be 2 women out on a date, which means I do believe same-sex relationships will be in the game. This clip also shows what looks to be different types of fairy. Now, I'm not sure whether we can personally pick and be different types of fairy, but I love the fact that NPCs like that exist, and that might even just add to the lore of the game. We've also learned that decorating your house isn't just for aesthetics, as the way you decorate will affect your character's stats throughout the day. Then we have something else I'm incredibly excited for, as we got to see a glimpse at the character creation, which looks to have so many options. First of all, you can pick your body type, including a plus-size character, and they also have a ton of options for not only which hairstyle you want, but also which color hair you want as well. And the thing that got me the most excited about the character creation is the ability to pick non-binary pronouns, which I adore, as more inclusivity is only ever a good thing. In more cozy news, we finally got not only a release date, but also some more information about the Disney Dreamlight Valley update coming next week. Yep, you heard that right. April 5th will be the introduction of the Lion King realm. Now, thanks to the trailer we got a month or so ago, we already knew that we'll be getting Nala and Simba. But we also got a bit more of a glimpse in this tiny snippet here of the Disney Park Star Path, which is also coming in the update, and what looks to be flying or gliding. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm so glad we finally have a way to get around faster, because oh boy, were we moving slowly before. In this clip, you can see a Ferris wheel, a teacup ride, and what looks to be one of those flying rocket rides maybe on the right-hand side, and also brand new balloon items. I do really hope we can maybe see characters riding the rides or ride them ourselves instead of them being purely decorative, But either way, I am looking forward to this update. There looks to be a lot of cool items in store for us, and I can't believe it's only less than a week away. And finally, if you were somehow living under a rock and didn't see it, we finally got more gameplay of Tears of the Kingdom. Not only did we get to see 10 whole minutes of gameplay, we also got to see the unveiling of a new Zelda-themed Switch, a Pro controller, and a brand new carry case. Now, weirdly enough, you can still buy the Nintendo Switch itself, but the Pro controller has sold out so fast and doesn't appear to be listed anywhere right now. I've already ordered the Switch because I fell in love with the dock, but I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on the Pro controller as well. But let's talk about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because I truly believe this is officially a cozy game. Now, interestingly enough, they didn't include anything about the story. So I truly believe from the get-go of starting the game, we're going to be taken on such a wild ride. I'm expecting the story to be fantastic. The gameplay itself was basically centered around the new abilities. This included sliding through the ceiling, which I don't know why made me feel really uncomfy. You also get an ability that allows you to turn back time on objects. The example they gave is something landing in front of you, you standing on it, turning back time as it soars into the air, and also a crafting mechanic that they call fusing. I don't know why, but this particular scene gave me pen, pineapple, apple pen vibes. Don't ask me why, but it did. The reason why I love this crafting mechanic so much is I think it's going to give us so many different ways to play the game. Like, for example, if you want less direct combat when battling someone, that's fine, because you can make yourself a ton of these homing arrows. Or if you need help defensively, you can just stick a ton of weird stuff to your shield and see how that helps you out. I am definitely looking forward to this game so much, and I cannot wait to give it a go. And by the way, if you're looking to get into Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom, we actually have a whole section in the Discord dedicated to helping people out if they get stuck, so I'll leave that in the description below. Before we go into all the cozy games coming out in April though, I wanted to highlight a few games that I think you might have missed. And by you, I mean me. These are games that came out in the last couple of months that I just haven't talked about, and I think I really should. First up, we have Rakuen Deluxe Edition. I have no idea how I completely missed this when it first came out, but this game has an unbelievable amount of character that I think has largely flown under the radar for cozy gamers. This is an adventure game where you play as a young boy who is in hospital. And although he's not quite able to leave the hospital yet, he's free to wander around the hospital, talk to the other patients, and can listen to the stories his mum tells him to pass the time. This story takes place in a magical forest where the leader is able to grant one wish to those who are deemed worthy. And after his mother insists that the story is in fact real, the boy asks his mum to take him there, and they step from the hospital walls straight into the world of the book. The only issue is, once they get there, the forest guardian is asleep and unable to grant the boy his wish. And in order to wake him, the boy must help those in the village with their issues. And thanks to the blurring of the imagination and the real world that happens in the game, these people in the village are also the other children in the hospital. And despite the whimsical tones that the story has most of the time, some of these storylines will definitely get you feeling emotional. This adventure game will see you explore, solve puzzles, and take in the sights as you travel. And it's a true cozy experience as there's no combat whatsoever. And because this is the deluxe edition, not only does this include the main game, but also it's smaller, not a direct sequel as such, but still sequel as well. The other game I somehow missed covering is Dredge. Just bear in mind, this is on the creepier side of the cozy spectrum. This is centered around a fishing adventure with a sinister tone underpinning the entire thing. But because of that, the entire atmosphere of the game is so unique. You captain a fishing trawler to explore some remote islands to find out what lies in the depths of the ocean. The gameplay sees you selling fish to the locals, completing quests, and learning all about the area's troubled past from its people. And as you go, you can upgrade your ship by researching special equipment. Each area you go to has its own unique story and unique people. But there is one thing you need to do no matter where you might sail to, and that's to keep an eye on the time, as you might not like what you see in the dark of night. And now we've covered a few games that I missed, let's get on to all of the April cozy games coming up. First up, we have Pupperazzi. For all those yearning for Nintendogs, this might just fill the doggy void in your heart. And even if it doesn't, it's guaranteed to make you smile. But do not judge this game by its visuals, because I promise you the visuals only add to this wacky experience. In this game, you are trying to grow your social media presence by, you guessed it, taking pictures of dogs. And you can decide which direction your career takes with your artistic choices. You can play fetch with the dogs, dress them up, chase them around with a vacuum cleaner, or even start dance parties. Overall, this just looks like a great time, and I think it's the perfect addition to the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to laugh, pick it up. Then we have Minabo, A Walk Through Life. Everything I've seen and read about this game interests me. I cannot wait to see what it's about. And this drops at the end of April. Now, this is described as being a social sim where you play as a turnip who either thrives or doesn't, dependent on how you deal with its social relationships. Now, when this game says it's a life sim, it truly means it, as you are with your turnip from the very beginning to the very end of its entire life. And the turnips you surround yourself with and how you care for their relationships determines your personality. And your life can be however you want it. You can adopt loads of radish pets, you can start a family, or you can live fast and die young. The decision is all yours. And the cool part is, if you really want to see how one decision shaped your entire turnip life, you can go back in time and choose a different path instead of starting a brand new life. There looks to be a ton of replay value with the game as well, with each and every life being truly unique, as the characters are randomly generated at the start. And the cool thing is, once you've lived an entire lifetime, you can even share the summary with your friends to see how your lives compare. Then we have Disney Speedstorm Racers that's coming out on the 18th of April. This is made by the same company that made Disney Dreamlight Valley, Games Loft, and the way in which it's launching is incredibly similar. So this game will eventually be free to play, but if you want to play early access, you need to buy a Founders Pack. These come in 3 different prices, with the most expensive having the most benefits and the cheapest having the least. And much like Disney Dreamlight Valley, these rewards come in the shape of in-game currency and also exclusive items, or in this case, also characters, I think. But I will say, maybe hold off buying this on the Nintendo Switch. And let me explain why. This is a racing game similar to the likes of Mario Kart, and this is releasing on every single platform all at the same time, just like Disney Dreamlight Valley. And if you remember back to when the game first launched on the Nintendo Switch, it was incredibly buggy and incredibly laggy. Some will argue it is still pretty buggy. And the thing is, in the Disney game, the worst case scenario with the game being laggy is that your character didn't farm in the right spot. The issue with a racing game where you play competitively online is that if the game lags, the game's not fun anymore. You're going to drive off the edge and you're going to come last. And although you can play offline, the real fun is playing with other people. So I'd definitely say maybe hold off, see how the game plays, and then decide to spend your money. Now, much like Disney Dreamlight Valley, you can also see how people are going to be able to spend real money when this becomes free to play. There's a season pass in the game from launch, and I think it's pretty clear to say that there's going to be cosmetics at some point brought in as well. My main issue with this is it doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the Nintendo Switch. It basically is a Disney take on Mario Kart, and I just feel like, why would you play the Disney game when the Mario Kart game is right there? But I do understand that for other consoles, this makes a whole lot of sense, as there really is nothing like Mario Kart already out there. The other cool thing is, if you have a Nintendo Switch but all your friends have different consoles, that this game will be cross-play from the very beginning. But yeah, as I said, maybe hold off and just check the game runs okay before you spend your money on it. I just don't want you to be disappointed if the game is super laggy. Then on the 20th of April, we have Coffee Talk 2. I've spoke about this game a ton recently, so we won't spend too long on it. But in Coffee Talk, you work behind the bar as a barista in an alternative version of Seattle, where the game sees you make drinks and listen to your fantasy customers' stories about their lives. But the game is far more than just serving coffee, as you can combine a series of different ingredients to influence the people's lives with a single cuppa. You can also draw latte art with each brew you make and immerse yourself in the cozy vibes that is hanging out in a coffee shop. The lo-fi music in the background of this entire game, its atmosphere, and the characters' stories really make the Coffee Talk games incredible, and I cannot wait to see what they did with the sequel. Now, the next couple of games are in their own section, as we know when they've come out on the PC, but we're just awaiting for the Nintendo Switch release date. Either way, I'm really excited. I'm going to be picking them up on PC so that when they come out on the Switch, I can give you a full review on the game so you know what they're about. But truly, the games on this list are the ones I am the most excited for. First up, we have Sunhaven. Now, I spoke about this a ton in my last video, and although we don't have a specific date this is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, the developers have said that they're literally just waiting for Nintendo to give them the seal of approval for it to go live. If you don't know what Sunhaven is, imagine Stardew Valley, but add in a ton more magic. You start off the game in the beautiful town of Sunhaven, and the character creation alone is so much fun. You pick from a bunch of different races and choose everything about your character, including which kind of wings they get. And although this has a lot of the classic farming sim tropes, this differs to the likes of Stardew Valley in a couple of big ways. First of all, there is no stamina in this game whatsoever, which is something I actually turned out to really enjoy. The game is also a lot more story-based than the likes of Stardew, meaning that whenever you wake up in an in-game day, you always have something you need to do in order to progress the story. So if you're someone like me and kind of struggles when games don't give you a direction or tell you what to do, this will fit you perfectly. The other way this differs from the likes of Stardew is just the sheer scale of the game. Not only do you have the whole of Sunhaven to walk around and enjoy, the game doesn't stop at just the one giant town. The story will see you going to multiple other towns, each of which you can set up a brand new house in and tend to a brand new farm, with each area also having unique resources and unique crops as well. So there's a ton of diversity, a ton of things to do, and an absolutely massive museum to fill up as well. The character design and the characters' personalities are also incredible, and it's a game I've been playing non-stop since I picked it up on the PC. The only thing that will make this game better to me is the ability to play it in bed. I hate sitting upright to play farming sims. I need to be in a horizontal state in order to fully get cozy. Then we have Roots of Patcha. Now, this is coming out late April on the PC, with unfortunately no Nintendo Switch date yet, although I am asking and I'm trying to find out as soon as possible, because this is another farming-like sim that I need to play horizontally. This is a Stone Age life sim that really embraces living off the land. And this has everything you'd expect to see from a Stone Age life sim. You can gather and farm vegetables, you can also domesticate animals and learn to hunt, and also the ability to explore as well. But the thing that makes this stand out compared to other life sims is the fact that you evolve and learn new processes to make their world a little bit more advanced. This includes stuff like learning how to metalwork, learning to preserve food, and also unlocking the likes of pottery. Learning these new skills allows you to invent new buildings and allows you to not only expand the town, but also make your house bigger and better. There is, of course, a friendship mechanic as well, where making friends with your clan is vital. And if you visit neighboring clans, you can even convince people to move into your clan instead of their old one. There's also a bunch of different festivals in the game as well that kind of center around Mother Nature and her elements, and I am really looking forward to a truly unique take on a life sim. And then we have Mail Time. Again, this is coming out sometime in April on PC with console dates with no exact release date yet, but I'm hoping the Switch won't be long behind. Now, if you love all things cottagecore, then this game will be perfect for you. I already played the demo and I loved the aesthetic, the character, and also just the fun of each and every task. The game just sees you running around delivering mail to the residents and helping those you pass along the way. The story and the writing for each of the residents is amazing and made me fall in love with them instantly. Every single letter you deliver has a little story to go along with it, which I adore and makes this game feel even more cozy. To me, the best part of the game though was getting to see the villagers open the mail in which you've delivered them, and the stories are always so wholesome and I found myself smiling constantly when I was doing it. That's it for this month's news, and if you haven't already, check out this video over here about my favorite cozy games of 2023 so far. Thank you for listening and I'll see you next time. Bye!